Kenny Todd, thank you for coming. Kenny Todd is the ISS Mission Operations Integration Manager, long title. But basically, he's going to be here to share with us some of the upcoming things that we can anticipate. Lots of activity going on. Today, the crew has been working on doing some troubleshoot work on one of the EMU, the extravehicular mobility units spacesuits, and also gathering tools in preparation for 3 upcoming spacewalks. The first one beginning on February 20th. What can you tell me about that?
Sure. This series of EVAs is really going to be focused on doing some cable routing outside the space station, getting ourselves in a position to be able to install some additional hardware later this year that will support our ability to dock some of our commercial crew vehicles.
Okay, so and we have seen a lot of that take place actually all throughout this week. They've been working on kind of pre-cable routing before they actually do the cable routing outside the complex, and I know that is in advance of the addition of the what we've been calling the IDAs, the International Docking Adapters. Can you tell me about that and what we anticipate for the commercial, what that means for the commercial crew?
You bet. Well, as a program, we're very interested in helping to spur this commercial industry, and in order to have these vehicles come to station, we need a total of 4 ports, 2 for visiting vehicles that bring cargo, and then we need 2 to have our commercial crew vehicles arrive to station. And so we needed to make that happen by having a couple of adapters put on. So we're going to do that on the front end of PMA 2. Which is on the front,
is the
pressurized mating adapter on the front end of station, if you will, and then later in the year we're going to move pressurized mating adapter number 3 from its current home on node 3 over to node 2, the Zenith location, and that's where later in the year we're going to install these international docking adapters. And so these EVAs are really about putting ourselves in a position to be able to talk to those adapters, power them when we get there, and there's a significant amount of cabling that we're going to have to do inside the space station as well. So while we do these EVAs, in and around these EVAs, we'll also be doing a lot of wiring inside the station.
Right. Well, 2015, we've already kicked off, and it is a big year for NASA and also a big year for the International Space Station. We are now only a month away from, next month we have the launch of the first 1 year of crew and that mission. Can you tell me some about that?
You bet. Again, just as we're tasked with helping to commercialize low Earth orbit. Another thing that we have to do is we have to help prepare ourselves to go for longer duration flights so that we can go other places in our solar system, and part of that is really understanding what it means to live in space for a long time. So having Scott and Mikhail fly to the station, live there for a year, allows us an opportunity to watch them. Obviously, having Scott's brother Mark here on the ground as a baseline subject will allow us to really get a better handle on the physiology and how things change in space during that period. So it's going to be a great opportunity for us to learn about long duration space flight.
Okay, and you mentioned, so again, the crew, the 1 year crew is NASA astronaut Scott Kelly, and then his crewmate who will also be doing the 1 year mission is cosmonaut Mikhail Kornienko, and you mentioned Scott and Mark, and so Mark is a previous astronaut, and Mark and Scott are brothers, but also twin brothers, so that science research will be very interesting. You know, it's a very unique opportunity, I think, that we have here for us to be able to do that.
So. It is, and I think, again, trying to understand what it takes to live outside, our planet and our atmosphere. This is just an incredible opportunity to do that, and while understanding what changes, and somebody on the ground that has almost the exact DNA and the ability to be able to record those changes is really fascinating.
And the significance of this launch or this mission is that because we know what goes on between months 1 and month 6. We've been doing this for a long time now, which we'll also talk about. But 6 to 12, we don't have that information, and so this is going to be a great way to be able to gather some of that data as well.
You bet. And just looking at the different experiments of different fluid physics and just the things to do to check psychology of the crew, all of the different things that we're going to do are really honing in on what happens in that 6 to 12 month
Right.
period. And so again, it's going to be great data, and it's a good opportunity for all partners out there who are thinking about long duration space flight in their future.
Right. So let's talk about cargo. We have a lot of activity there as well. Right. Currently, we have the Dragon cargo craft that is going to be departing from the space station on February 10th next week, Tuesday, and then we also have the automated transfer vehicle that will be departing within 4 days after that on February 14th. So tell me some about the cargo ops that we have going on.
Sure. February is going to be a very challenging month for us in general. You got vehicles coming and going. As you said, SpaceX is we're going to, at this point, plan to berth them on the 10th. ATV coming off the station on the 14th. Shortly after that, our Russian friends are going to launch a progress vehicle to the same port where ATV will be vacating on the 14th, and then 3 EVAs right after that. But yeah, a lot of cargo ops right now, a lot of research. Once we get through this group of cargo vehicles, we'll see SpaceX again in April, and a lot of human research on that particular flight. And then coming later in the summer is when we're going to start to see some of these things that really is going to look like a little bit of a reassembly of station, where you have some new hardware showing up, and we're going to have to be doing some module movements and things like that. So that's kind of what our future is going to look like over the next 6 to 7 months.
It looks busy.
It's going to be very busy, but it's again, that's part of why we do this job, is because we're seeking to discover, and we're learning as much about how to get commercial vehicles on station as much as we are trying to figure out how to get out of low Earth orbit with our crews. And so it's a great opportunity for station. There's a lot going on, but the team's up to the challenge and looking forward to it.
Yeah, lots of challenges, but lots of great work also, and has been going on for quite a while, as I mentioned. So what we also will be able to partake in is the anniversary of the Expedition 1, the very first mission where human presence was there aboard the International Space Station. There were 3 crew members, and that was back on November of 2000. So this year we'll have 15 years of consistent human presence. Can you tell me some about that?
Sure. I mean, it's pretty amazing when you think about the amount of time and how fast it's gone when you kind of live in these 6-month increments like a lot of us do around here. But just thinking back to when Shep and Sergey flew that flight, we all knew it was something special, that we weren't sure what the future held. But just getting them up there in that time frame, it was a goal that a lot of us had for a very long time. Through all the design phase part of station, and to be at that point where we could actually fly a crew to station, but more importantly keep them there, and to be able to do that and see where we've come 15 years later there's a lot of us are very proud, and still at the end of the day we have to continue to be vigilant in the things that we do, but yeah, it's been a great 15 years.
Wonderful. And it's a great accomplishment, and so you and your teams and everyone here have a lot to be proud of, and they should be. So we're very looking
Thank you very
forward to
much.
this year.
It's the team here between the ops and the engineering community and all the safety folks who help keep us thinking the correct ways. It's an integrated effort, and it's a wonderful program.
Absolutely.